So, folks, I'd like to welcome to the channel Mr. Richy Vida.
That's better, actually. I like that. I like that.
From Valleys of Peak District.
Bless you. Thanks for having me, mate. Thank you very much for having me. I've been looking forward to coming and seeing you for a ride, ride, and getting your lovely bike mucky.
Yes, and we've certainly done that this morning. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while being able to get together. But what I wanted to do for the channel was just to basically ask you just a few questions, interview styley, sort of to get to know you. Not to get to know you a bit better, like
fire away. Yeah,
let's have a relationship.
Should we get a bottle of wine?
Yeah, candles.
Too much wind, told you.
Yeah. So I mean, these questions are all my questions. They're you know, from watching your videos, they're questions that become apparent to me as a viewer and a fan of the channel, because I love your channel, I love what you do, etc.
Thank you very much.
So these are just questions that I've sort of dreamt up. I'm obviously not going to ask questions that everybody else wants to ask. Yeah. But I think Bruce has more than covered that in the podcast. Because, you know, you've been on there
a couple of so I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's kick off then. So I mean, what was the spark in the first place to start off with motovlogging? What started you off with it?
The spark. I realised there was something in it when I never started it out to be this at all. I started my YouTube channel as a music channel, being a musician forever, right. to you know, do live music, or you know, just to post my songs on there, whatever. And then I just started posting the odd biking video. I'm not saying I did it first or anything like that, but back when it was not really a thing. Yeah. YouTube weren't really a thing. You used to go onto YouTube to watch music videos and stuff. That's really what it was at the time. And then I started making videos on my VFR, not really talking or whatever, just basically riding Derbyshire, taking pictures. I've always loved the countryside, so it was just like just me getting out in the countryside, really. And then I started to realise that there were a trend that those videos always seemed to get more traction than the music videos. So really? I thought, like, that's a bit annoying. This is something I've trained all my life to do, and now all I'm doing is having a ride on a bike and taking a few photos. But then I thought, you know, comments started to come in that people are enjoying that kind of ride, because as well at the time, it was the only thing bike related really on YouTube at the time were people being idiots. Yeah, you know, like wheeling through villages and things like that. And I used to be embarrassed, actually, and at the time I'd put little disclaimers on my video description saying this is literally just me having a little slow ride through Derbyshire. Sort of
thing I do.
Please don't be expecting any form of stunt riding, because there's not going to be any, and you're going to find it really boring. So you know, but then comments started coming in from people saying, actually, this is really refreshing. Yeah. See people just out on a bike, enjoying the bike, not riding like, you know, like an idiot. So, and I thought, oh, there might be something in this. So I just started to make more and more and more, and then I just fell in love with it.
So how many years has it been now since you started?
Well, I started Wild Bad Touring off the back of the channel in 2014. So I'd probably say, so Wild Bad started in 2014. I'd say I started the channel way back, probably 2007, but only started making videos from 2011, really. Wow. You know, for like biking videos, I mean. So 2011, 12, first proper tour, 2012. The first tour that I filmed properly was 13, I think. Right, okay.
And the title influencer, because you are obviously a big influencer now. You must have sold so many VFRs. I own an Africa Twin because of your videos, basically. How do you respond to that title? Is it something that sits well with you? When a lot of people don't like that title of influencer.
When that name started being thrown around, it was very weird, and I don't think anyone liked it. No. Now it's become more of a, it is a title, isn't it? But it's not. I'd never ever say, oh,
I'm an influencer.
I'm Richy Vida, the influencer. You know, ever. You know, I'd never ever use it.
Other biscuits are available.
Hey, talking of other biscuits, the other day I had some fake chocolate hobnobs, like Aldi version. They were mega.
Fob knobs.
Fob off knobs.
Oh, that's
One's
that.
just died.
I think
Which one was it? That one's still going.
I think it's that.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool. So the influencer thing, although I never use it, and you might be labelled it, it don't really bother me.
No. Okay. So
And the other thing is, going back to it, if me enjoying this bike and telling you how much I enjoy it prompts you to get one,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure you love that as well.
I do. Yeah.
So it's not as if it's like I'm saying, try this teeth whitening kit. Do you know what I mean?
Have you got any?
I've got some things.
What, that stuff that John gave us earlier?
Tipex.
Tipex. Oh, that's
What's his name?
that was Captain Pugwash.
Captain Pugwash, yeah. Crackers.
So,
what a top bloke though. Top bloke.
Yeah. So, any special tours coming up? Anything in the pipeline?
Well, we've just finished my Wild Bad Atlantic Way series, so the second trip to Ireland, that's just finished. I'm just about to start the Picos series. So there's no, in terms of any more tours for this year, there's nothing planned. I'll not be doing anything else this year. I might be doing something on my own, completely off the cuff.
Yeah.
Just saddling up and disappearing. Yeah. I might well do that, like I did the Scotland thing in January, just for the sake of it.
Mental,
I love doing things, that are not planned and just getting off and going. So I'm not saying there's nothing like that popping up, but in terms of actual tours, there's nothing in the pipeline just yet.
Something that we talked about earlier, not on the cameras when we were on the bikes earlier, but when you're on tour and you've got people on that tour that are, let's say their behaviour is a little bit challenging, how do you keep a lid on your emotions? How do you deal with, say, anger? Because some people at times must
some people can rub you up the wrong way, can't they? Definitely. I mean, out of all the tours we've done, we've not really had, I've been lucky in the fact that there's not really been any of that. There's been a couple, but the thing is, it's your job as the leader or organizer of a tour to keep everybody happy. So I'd never lose my temper or have any form of confrontation with anybody in front of anybody, because it's going to make everybody else feel uncomfortable. So it's my job to keep everyone happy and the morale of the group as high as possible. So although I might have a quiet word to one side, I'd never do anything in front of people.
There's never been an episode where you've had a bit of a blow up and just edited it out of your video.
Oh no, I mean, I'd never do that anyway. If I did have an episode where I blew up, I would 100% include it, because the other thing is, I get the comment quite a lot that people find it refreshing that I also use the bad stuff as well as the good stuff. So there's no point. There's no point.
Exactly what I do as well.
There's no point making a video of like a tour or whatever and portraying everything to be perfect, because it never happens. There's always something that's. So you should really show it as a true representation of it. But
dropping.
If I did lose it, I would use it. Oh, I like it. Lose it, I would use it. In fact, when we were in Norway, I spat my dummy out. I had a bit of a temper tantrum in a supermarket over the price of beer. And it was not over the price. I mean, if anyone's been to Norway, beer's expensive anyway, but it's not the price of the beer. It was the fact that the morale of the group at the time were very low, because we'd had a terrible run of weather up through Norway, and so we're all struggling a bit. And we were in this supermarket getting some beer, and the two people in question were arguing whether they should get this beer or this beer, and there was something like, I don't know, not even a quid difference. And I was like, I lost it a bit then. I was like booting beers back into the fridge, but again, I might have lost it for a split second, and it was a full-on tantrum. But as soon as I'd had a shower and calmed down, I apologised for my, for my outburst, and just because again, you don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable.
In terms of Wild Bad as. Would you call it a touring company, or is it
I always say touring entertainment company. Legally it's an actual business as a touring company, but it's more of a touring entertainment, really. It's not like a normal generic touring company where you can just go online and go, I want to go on a tour to blah blah blah, there's a company that does it, right, I'm going to go on it. Everybody that I've ever taken on tour I know somehow, whether it's like me having a chat to you over months and months, or I've never taken anyone on tour that I've never spoken to.
Right.
Because that's also the chance of taking someone on tour that can turn out to be a bit of an idiot.
Major issue. Yeah.
These are lads coming up this trail, look.
Yeah. They just don't mind breaking the law, though.
Yeah.
Mr. Vida!
Hey! How we doing?
I'm alright, you know.
I'm alright, mate.
Very good.
How was that?
Alright, I did figure we were up to top.
Yeah.
They won't do it, but Tad windy up top.
Yeah.
But no, alright.
I don't know if you've noticed it, but I've just turned around over there. There's a sign at the top now saying you're not allowed down there anymore. You have?
I don't want to answer it on me watch and not know who it is.
Yeah.
Not that I'm dodgy.
It might be a conversation you don't want to have.
I'm full of peer talking to them. Because one's a mega famous YouTuber.
This is going back sort of to one of the first questions that I asked you about Wild Bad, and you know how you got into the whole motovlogging lark. But I mean, what's next now for Wild Bad? Where do you see the direction of the channel? Are you still carrying on in the same direction, the same sort of format with Wild Bad, or do you have any plans for the future?
Nothing of any change at all yet. I'm still building, definitely still building. So it's definitely going to keep as it is for now, on the same trajectory that it's on. But you know, I'm fiercely protective of it, and I love it, Wild Bad to death. You know, and it's my baby. You know, and I've grown it into something special. And
is full-time movie maker still an ambition?
Yeah, I couldn't do full-time yet.
No.
It's paying bills. It's definitely paying bills now, but it's not. I couldn't give up the day job just yet.
But it's still an ambition. For
yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. I'd love to be able to. I'd love to be able to be full-time with it, and you know, because the other thing is, when I'm doing my day job, I'm aware of the fact that I'm not in my office. Doing this, so it's like, like they suffer. One suffers when you're not doing it, kind of thing. So, but yeah, I would love to get to the point where that is what I do all the time. Yeah,
cool,
definitely.
Back to the touring question then. What would be your dream ride? Where to, and with who, and on what?
The dream rides it sounds bad, but I've done it. The America thing.
The American.
Yeah, that was a full-on pipe dream. Full-on pipe dream. And you know, I still love to go to, you know, places like Mongolia and just go off into the wilderness. You know, in the middle of nowhere. I would love that, but there's nowhere, you know, that's on the top of the list at all. New Zealand's definitely in there. Definitely want to ride New Zealand. A Brita Blonda bike. I definitely want to go down and see those guys. You know, and some of the roads that they
because they came to see you, didn't they?
Yeah. Came to one of our, well, they didn't come to one of our gigs from New Zealand. They came over, I think they were in Italy at Tom's family's place, and then they came across to the UK for a bit. And just as so it happened, we were doing an outdoor gig at the time, so he said, we're going to come and see you. So it was fantastic. Cool. Great to see him, and they're really lovely. Got a lot of time for them.
So with regards to the channel, how do you see it in terms of your own social responsibility? I know that in your earlier videos the language could be a bit ripe at times.
Then I had a daughter. And I grew up a little bit.
So with regards to your social responsibility, the way that you influence people with your videos, you take that seriously, don't you? It's a serious thing.
I do. I'm genuine, you know, and I'd never lead anyone down a garden path for the sake of some dosh or anything like that, ever. If it meant, if that meant, you know, if someone offered me some money for doing something that I didn't believe in, I'd rather not. I'd rather stop it completely. I'm not interested in that whatsoever, at all. Money, I'm not bothered about it. I love that it's grown into what it has, and I'm very passionate about it, and I do, like I say, I'm very genuine, and I just want people to be able to see that and trust me, you know.
I have to say that the little I know of you personally, and you know, being out with you today, I'm struggling to try and think of a more genuine person that I know.
Oh, that's very nice, very kind, thank you.
You are you're obviously passionate. That comes across, you know, in the videos, in the music, in everything that you do, really. But you are just such a genuine heart on your sleeve.
Oh yeah,
guy, aren't you?
Definitely heart on my sleeve. Yeah, I'm me, and that's it. You know, there's no other. There's no other side.
Which is why I find it, the way you keep those emotions in check when it comes to dealing with bad behaviour on a tour, that sort of thing. That must be a proper battle for you at times, especially on a tour where you're.
It's not really. I mean, if it got to the point that someone were really either causing issues with a group, I would ask them to leave.
Yeah.
Because then it's not fair for everybody else to have to put. You know, everyone else has paid to be on this tour, and it's their holiday. So, for the sake of one person who's being a dick, I would, if it got to that point that it was that bad, I'd ask them to leave.
Yeah.
Or I'd say, you know, you'll not be riding with us today. You can ride by yourself. But you know, he's definitely looking after the group. Definitely.
Yeah. How do you view yourself now, personality-wise, and as a person, compared to the Richy Vida from when you first started the motovlogging?
Well, I'm a parent now, so I've definitely grown up loads. Definitely grown up loads. You know, some of the old videos, as much as I love everything I've done, I cringe the language and stuff. You know, but you know, we all grow up, don't we? We all you know. And if the thought of my daughter hearing that, I'd be I'd be distraught.
I think when you see yourself back on video,
it does show growth as well, though, doesn't it?
That's when you realise, doesn't it? That's when you realise. And also, well, it shows growth, and it shows an awareness of yourself in the bigger environment, doesn't it? Because this environment that you're in now, it's not just a Peak District environment, it's a global environment. Your reach is global.
Well, it is.
I've got less than 1,000 subscribers, and that's getting global. You know, America.
But how amazing that you can create something on your bike. Yeah. Now, you know,
nothing.
And someone in New Zealand or Australia is going to be commenting later on and saying, "Oh, I love that. I love that video." And like, how, you know, we're so lucky, really, that we're in this age where we can just create our own TV show, if you like, and just put it out there.
And obviously, you would get on with that. I think you would get on with those people if you met them in real life, because they're not attracted to you, but they like what you do, and they like the person you are by what you say and all the rest of it. I'm pretty certain that those people, and this is why I think the Wild Bad Weekender is so popular, because you are a charismatic guy. You know, people like to be around you because
you've either got it or you haven't.
People like to be around you though, because you're a nice guy. You've got to be you're open, and
you've got to have people skills. You've got to be upbeat about things. You've got to be optimistic. You know, you can't be. You've got to be extrovert a little bit. You know, you've got to be approachable and just. You've got to be a good time guy, really,
haven't you?
You
know, of energy though, doesn't it? That Wild Bad Weekender takes a lot out of you, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, really does.
Apart from the amount of beer that you put away.
Yeah, well, that's part of it though. That first night when I said, you know, welcomed everybody on stage, welcome, you know, thanks for coming, blah blah blah. This is welcome to your Wild Bad Weekender, which it is, you know. I plan on getting very drunk tonight, and I did.
You did.
Yes, I succeeded. Well, the thing is, you know, because that event takes a good year really of planning, you know, for everything that goes on behind the scenes, and that's effort that's up, you know, your mind's on the go all the time. So and then you get to the site and you're on go from start to finish. The second the last person drives off, see you, bye bye, right, okay, let's get it all down. I've got nothing. The adrenaline by that time's gone, and it's so, you know, the week following the weekender, I'm just absolutely shattered, and it's a full-on adrenaline dump, you know, because your adrenaline's got to keep going like a freight train all weekend, till it doesn't need to anymore. Then it just goes, no, I've used far too much, I'm off. So it's so that's another reason why we was having this conversation earlier about how passionate we are with these channels and the amount of effort that goes into making the channel or a video or anything, you know, events. You've got to put a lot of your own passion into that.
Absolutely.
And then when something doesn't go right or someone lets you down, that's what's so disheartening, because you kind of beat yourself up. Because you know you're putting all this effort in, and then someone somewhere breaks that little chain, or you know,
break it down for you.
So you do beat yourself. I beat myself up anyway a lot. we found a nice little spot here, you know.
It's not bad, is it?
We've been driving around Peak District all morning looking for a spot, and we found it.
It's a pity we can't get that view in.
Yeah.
But we'll show you that in a minute, folks.
Well, if we just move, should we pop this over there?
What, this?
Yeah.
This
strong,
is
aren't
not just a stage prop.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, it's real. So how's your dad?
My dad's super, you know, he's 74.
74, is it?
Yeah, 74. And you know, he's fit as a fiddle.
Yeah, yeah.
He's fit as a fiddle, and whenever we're off on tour, I never ever have to, the same as Jimbo who rides with us, he's a bit older than my dad. I never ever have to think, oh, I wonder how my dad is. Because I know he's fine. He's fine. He's a, you know, when you're a little child and you look up to your dad and he's a strong, he's your hero. Yeah. He's as strong now as he's ever been, you know.
Yeah.
And
how much of an influence was your dad with regard to
the bikes
and getting into bikes and motorcycling and?
Well, I always remember as a kid, my first bike ever that he bought me as a 10-year-old was a Cub. That was my first bike, Honda Cub, 70. My brother had the 90, but I didn't ride it because it was too fast. and then my dad had, I remember he had a couple of old like CD 175s in the shed, and I used to beg him and plead, Dad, please can we get these ones out because these are bigger. And I could do it by then, and he was like, no, we're not doing it. And I'd beg and plead for him to get these big bikes out, you know, the big old daft things. And whenever we did, it was just like, oh, this is amazing. And then, you know, I had a lot of years not interested in bikes at all, you know.
When did you pass your test?
2011.
Really?
2011, yeah.
Because I'm someone who's just thought that you've been riding bikes.
I've been riding bikes forever, but only on the road since 2011. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was not interested. I was always, you know, motocross and off-road and all that kind of stuff. And then kind of, you know, went through a car phase. And then my dad's the reason actually that I'm riding properly anyway, because it got to the point. My dad's always ridden, you know, and my dad lives in Birkenhead in Liverpool. And he'd always ride over to see me, but on his own, on his bike. Yeah. Got no biker buddies or anything like that. He only ever goes from my house to his house. Yeah. Never went anywhere or really, you know, never went for a quick blast or anything like that. And this one day I just thought, randomly as well, I'm going to pass my test and surprise him. And that was it, completely. And I just thought, that's exactly what I'm going to do anyway. So, you know, without him knowing, I went through the whole test thing, bought my bike, VFR, that I've still got. Yeah. And I rung him and I said, are you in on Saturday, whatever? He said, yeah. I said, I've got a surprise for you. And my plan was to just turn up, show him bike. And he thought, you know, and I turned up and, you know, on this bike, rolled in. And he's like, what are you doing on that? And he was almost about to bollock me. Like, if you get bloody caught on that, really? The police are going to shoot you, you know. I'm like, I've passed my test. He's like, you what? Because he had no idea that I were even interested. And he says, is that my surprise then? I said, kind of. He said, well, what's... And at the time, my dad had a ZZR 1100, Kawasaki, that he adored. And I said, it's kind of your surprise, but the rest of your surprise is I want you to clear May in your diary. He's like, what do you mean? I said, clear May in your diary. He's like, why? I said, because we're going to Spain. I said, what do you mean? He said, me and you are going to Spain on these bikes. He's like, we can't go to bloody Spain. I'm like, clear May in your diary, and that's exactly what we're doing. Oh, so that's really where it started it all for me with the whole touring thing. You know, I planned this trip just for me and my dad, and we had a month through Europe, you know, bickering and, you know, drinking, and it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Is that where, because it was in Germany where the Wild Bad idea came to you, wasn't it? Was that tour?
No, that was that's where it started. Yeah. It was the Croatia tour the year after where I revisited what I was thinking back with my dad, where Wild Bad came from. So yeah, we did that tour, and it was just, I just thought from that moment on, I love it. I absolutely adore this. So it just grew into what it is now, really. But yeah, my dad's, if you know, I'd not had that biking background, I probably won't be doing it. Yeah. But yeah, the whole point of me getting on the road is to surprise my dad and take him off to Spain, because like I say, he never even dreamt he never dreamt of going abroad on his bike or even going on a camping trip.
No.
Never went anywhere on it because he had no biking buddies, you see. So I did it basically so we could ride together.
Yeah.
And then it's just grown and grown and grown. And my dad's been on nearly every trip that we've been on. So apart from the couple of big ones, you know, the America and the Norway, but
yeah,
he's been on nearly every other.
Cool.
And he loves it.
So what's happening with regards to the band and the music career?
We're still
tramming on with that?
Yeah, we're still doing it, yeah. Everyone always seems to say, how the bloody hell do you have enough time to do all this? And it's always been that way, so I don't know any different really. Right. You know, I've always had a day job. I've been playing in bands since I was 16, and that's always been a, you know, weekend rock star kind of thing, you know, so you're going off weekends, gigging. And then you know, getting back into working your daytime in the week. But then now this has taken over as well, so I'm putting so much time and effort into this. You know, it's like I'll go out and do my day job, and then I'm in the office probably 7 o'clock when Georgia goes to bed, 7, 8 o'clock till 1 o'clock every night, editing and then finding time to go out doing the trips as well to record all that, to then come home and do all that, and then still having a gig on Saturday night, and then it's just always been.
I find exhausting at times. It can, you know, after you've been at work all day.
It is.
You know, I'm up 5:30 every day, go to work, put in a full shift, and then come home. Oftentimes I just don't bother turning the computer on.
I know it's hard work, but I've kind of got like a bit of a workflow now where I'll put my daughter to bed, you know, we'll do all that family stuff. The second she's in bed, you know, and then at 8 o'clock ish, I know that I'm going into office, so I'll pour myself either a glass of wine or a glass of bourbon or something, and I'll fire it all up, open the project, get my head into it a bit, and then just start working. And you know, some nights, you know yourself, you'll have a really productive night where you've really cracked on with it, and then other nights you think, I've just spent 4 hours and not really anything's done.
Not really any further forward with this.
But I heard an interview with the American guy, Chase on Two Wheels. I think it was Bruce's podcast. And he was saying that because that's all he does now professionally, that he now, you know, he makes a conscious effort that he leaves the office at 6 o'clock every day. So, you know, he's going to work, filming, editing, filming, whatever, you know, riding. But as soon as it comes to 6 o'clock, everything's off. He's now going home back to his family. I would love that to be, you know. But when you've got a day job as well, as you know yourself, you've got to make extra time, haven't you, to be able to make it work, otherwise it just won't happen.
And sometimes as well, that's one of the reasons why I don't turn the computer on, is the fact that I feel a little bit guilty that I've been out at work since, you know, first thing in the morning, come home, my wife's been at work all day as well, come home, we have tea together, sit and tell each other about what's happened during our day, and then to disappear off to my office and just shut myself away for the next 3 or 4 hours, I feel a little bit disrespectful to my wife. So I'll stay downstairs and try and have a conversation with my wife, who then makes a point of just ignoring me anyway.
Just go in your office.
And I think, why didn't I just go and do some editing?
Exactly.
So with the Wild Bad Weekender, is that going to stay the same size? I mean, the ticket limit is about 300 at the minute, is that right?
Well, last year's were, I say last year, let's pretend COVID didn't happen. So last year was 200. The one we've just done 300. Next year's is 400. We've already sold half the tickets already. So I don't know. I'd like to grow it into something completely massive and different, but then we'd lose a bit of the family side of what it is at the moment. So I noticed this year, the 100 extra this year, you could see it. You could really see it in terms of, you know, queues for bar and food and things like that. Next year it's going to be more, but we're going to have more bars, we're going to have more food, more facilities. So as it grows, we'll grow with it to make it work, you know. But I'm so passionate about that, and I'm so proud that people love it as much as they do, because, you know, that's come from my background really of gigging, you know, and going to events and helping with events and things like that. You know, I know how things work, and it's a lot of work to put together, but it's so enjoyable. And when you look at other people and people are having the best time.
I think everybody had a good time.
Yeah, it's just
I didn't see anybody having a bad time.
It's a special atmosphere, and that's the whole thing that I want it to always be. You know, obviously I saw all the bands and all that kind of thing because that's my background, so I've always had all the stage, all that kind of thing always. So it's just creating something that's special for someone to forget about their life for a weekend. Just come to something, enjoy being with a load of people that are exactly the same as you,
like-minded
but they're all from different walks of life as well, which I love that. But when you're in that tent, everyone's the same part of the same family, and I love that. I love it.
Absolutely. So your subscriber count now is over 30,000.
Just over 30.
Just over 30. How much does that, you know, the videos aside, you know, everything else aside, correspondence-wise and everything else behind the scenes, how much correspondence do you get a week
from subscribers or viewers? You mean
in terms of, you know, emails, you know, messages
constant
to your videos,
constant,
because you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter. I constantly plague you about one thing or another.
No, you don't.
That must be quite draining at times.
It is, but it's addictive as well, and I hate it as much as I love it.
Yeah.
And I think we're all a bit guilty of that. Yeah. You know, I'd love. Do you listen to Chris Evans on Virgin Radio?
No, I don't.
You don't like him?
No.
Oh, really?
I
love him. I love
really
Chris Evans.
Cannot stand him.
Well, anyway, he always says famously that he decided not to have a phone or any of this 3 years ago. Yeah. He's got not even got a mobile phone, so you can't reach him. And I just think, what a luxury. I know he's got his people that do all his things for him, but what a luxury being able to do your thing, but be on your own. You know, you made a video about technology killing your ride, and we are so wrapped up, and we're kind of rich really with all this technology that we can have.
It just seems like everything that comes out, you've got to have it all the time. It's like, you know,
it's bad, really.
Everything is just, that's new, I've got to have one of those.
I know.
For whatever reason.
And we don't, do we? We don't need it at all.
You really
at
don't.
all.
You really don't. I, you know, labour under the misconception that I need it because I vlog.
Yeah. But still, you know, when you think, you know, this is something with me, like, you know, I don't mind spending money on equipment because it's part of your business, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't think anything about spending, for argument's sake, let's say £500 on a new camera.
Yeah.
But then you go to Tesco's and you see that a loaf of bread's, you know, 14p more than it is at that other shop, and you're like, I'm not buying that.
I'm not buying that. It's too expensive.
It's just bizarre that we, you know.
But when I look at the amount,
we kind of justify it to be like, okay.
In my office now.
Yeah. Oh, same.
And how much of that stuff do I take out? Like today, I brought quite a lot of kit out. There's 1, 2, 3 cameras there. I've got the other 360 on the other side of the bike there. I've got one on the handlebars here.
We don't need that. We don't need hardly any of it, do we?
Is that enough? I could have done with one over there.
Oh dear me. It's a bit tall, this rock is.
It is a bit tall. And you're taller than me. I've just managed to get 1 foot on the floor.
Well, yeah, going back to equipment, we don't need half of it, do we?
We don't need half of it. We don't need it. We do. So, the motorbike show, I already know that you're going. What days are you going to be at the motorbike
I'm going
show?
only on the 5th, Sunday the 5th.
Sunday the 5th?
Yep.
So
I've got a load on at the moment, so yeah, Sunday the 5th.
Are you going to be on a stand on Sunday the 5th?
I think I'm going to be on the Image 4 security stand at some point.
Right.
But that's about it. Okay. I just want it more of a me thing this time, you know, so just have a womble round.
Having a walk around.
Yeah, just enjoying being there.
Are you going to take a camera?
Oh yeah, I'll be taking camera. Yeah. I kind of don't go anywhere without it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I get sick of it, but if I don't have it, I want it. Yeah. So feel a bit undressed without it.
So you're going to be there on the 5th. Bruce is there 5th and the 6th, I think, isn't he?
So. I know he's there on the 5th.
Yeah, I think he's there 2 days. I'll be there on the 8th. Nobby No Mates.
There we go.
Oh, I thought she was going to get it then.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'm looking forward to it actually, because we didn't get to see it last year, did we? It was just a online thing, weren't it?
Yeah, exactly. Which just
a means to an end, but not very good.
Yeah. And in terms of planning for next year, PCOS next year?
Yeah, we'll always do a PCOS. Well, as long as people want to keep doing it. end of October.
Can I come?
Yes, please. Yeah, do so. I thought you were waving at someone. I'm like, who do you know over there?
Hiya!
Yeah, Pecos, beginning of October. Yeah. I mean, we changed it again this year. We lengthened. Normally we're only there for 2 days because you've got a 24-hour sail each way. It takes a good chunk of your time just to get there.
Yeah.
So we could only really afford, in terms of time, 2 days there, which is not enough. So this year we've done 4 days there, which are fantastic. We're a bit more chilled, exploring more stuff we've not seen. But next year, I've not planned it exactly yet, but I'm thinking to extend by another day, I think.
Yeah.
Because nearly everyone said at this year's, shame it's over so quick.
It's too quick.
Yeah.
And
it is so magical there. It's just a brilliant place to ride your bike.
I would definitely love to come with you.
Yeah, I'll stick your name down there. I'll stick your name down
cheers,
for it. And as well, we've just done a group of 18, and I think from now on, I'm either going to do 2 groups of 10.
Yeah.
You know, at different times. I don't think I'm going to do one of 18 again.
Yeah.
'Cause it becomes awkward for your coffee stops and your restaurants and things like that. It's still great, and you have a lot of great people. Yeah, I think each group will probably be a 10, round about 10, probably a few more.
Yeah. I've run out of questions to ask you. Well, I mean, I'm always going to have more questions to ask you, but for the purposes of this interview, Richy Vida, thank you very much.
Mate, I've loved it.
Richy
Vida. I love that. I love it. That's it. You started something there, you know that, don't you?
Thanks very
Oh
much.
no, so Bruce has started the bloody Dickie Vegas thing. Now you're going to start Richy Vida thing.
Richy Vida.
No, thanks, pal. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hi folks, pleased to welcome to the channel Mr. Richy Vida.
Hey?
Richy Vida.
No, there's no T in it. Why do people... This is in no way an exotic name at all.
Richy Vida.
Richy. No T.
Richy.
Yes. Let's start again.
We'll start again. So folks,
why couldn't you have chosen a warmer day?
What?
Why couldn't you have chosen a warmer day and or perhaps a day with more wind?
I seem to remember this was your choice.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.